Hello viewers, my name is Raj and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today in this video of Python tutorial series, I'll be talking about lambda function. So it often happens that when you are trying to solve a problem or you are solving or doing a task and you have several subtasks. So it often requires you have some of the tasks that are repeating. So you create a function for it. But let's say the task is not so genuine or the task is very trivial. So for that purpose, you don't have to explicitly create a different function with a syntax and the definition and all. So it often it often happens that the function that you are creating is not of much importance, but not in terms of importance, but it's not heavily required. So at that time, you can create a small anonymous function using lambda. So lambda does something like you have a small you want to perform a task. So you define the code and you don't name it, right? So it can be a small anonymous thing that runs in the background or runs does the task for you without having an explicit syntax for it. So let's say whenever you create a function, you have the defined you have a function definition where you have set of 3-4 lines code for a small trivial task. I'm not talking about bigger tasks, because for bigger tasks we can't use lambda function. So for smaller tasks we can use this lambda function in order to string the code, because it often happens that you have n number of smaller tasks and you create n functions for that. So that becomes very difficult for anyone to understand your code, because you have different functions defined all over the code and you are calling one of them at any point of time. So it becomes very difficult. So that's why Python has introduced lambda function. So to create a small anonymous function for a particular task at the point only. So that's why we use this lambda, and so lambda is a very simple way of creation and you can use it anytime. So viewers, this is the way of creating lambda function. So lambda can be created, lambda function can be created by using this keyword lambda. So again, this is a reserved keyword, so you cannot use lambda as an identifier somewhere else in your program. So you have lambda and then you have a list of arguments. So this arguments identifier written here is nothing but your set of values that you want to perform some operation. So you can write it in a comma separated way. Then you have the colon, which essentially demarcates or there's a difference between the arguments and the expression part. And after the colon you have the expression. So this you can't have a lambda function for a complex task, but you can have a lambda function for a smaller task, so that your expression is not too big. Because if you try to create an expression for a big task, then it will be very difficult for you as well, and also it can yield wrong results because of the way you are creating the expression. So and then you can you can also store this anonymous function in a variable, or you can directly use this function at any point of time. So that's how it is practically done. So let's take an example to clear this, to clear the myth or the doubts that you might raise in your mind. So let's say I have a number and I want to create the third power of that number. That is basically I want the cube power of that number. So let's say I want to know what is 5 raised to 3 to the power 5. Sorry, 5 to the power 3. So essentially, so what I can do is I can have a lambda function and I will pass a number, let's say n, and I will write an expression. So what the expression is, so n to the power 3. So what this syntax is doing is it will take an argument n or an argument in general sense, and it will compute its third power and it will return. So the return part is inbuilt, so you don't have to do anything. It will automatically do the n to the power 3 and it will return whatever the value that is computed. So let's say I store this thing this function in the variable a. So now I can use this a at anywhere in my program, and I just have to pass the value that I want as n. So let's say I pass 5. So it will calculate 5 to the power 3 and it will return 125. So let's check if this is working or not. So yes, this is working. So I got 125. Let's check for 10 to the 15 to the power 3. So it is giving 3375. So that's how you can create an anonymous function using lambda. So you can have like complex operations here as well. Let's say I want to calculate a square plus b square. So, and I pass two variables here. So I will change this to e. Let's e for equation. So, and now I want a square plus b square. So I can write a double star 2 plus b double star 2. So that's the expression that we want to calculate. So I can use, like, you can easily create that expression using this lambda. So now when I am calling this lambda, I just have to pass two values for a and b. Let's say I give that value as 2 and 3. So I should, like, ideally I should get 4 plus 9, which is like 13. So let's check if this is true. Yes, so the function is working fine. So that's how you can use lambda for creating this anonymous function. Okay, so that's how we can create a mathematical like expression using the lambda. But you can have there are varieties of way where lambda function is widely used. So we will see a first example of sorting. So in sorting, you often have to use different parts of the element as key. So at that point, this is very important, or using the lambda is very important to reduce the code and keep the code simple. So let's say I have this list of values with me. So I have the records as an element. So I have 4 records of students. So in the first record, I have I have name and marks of 2 subjects for a student. So this is a record, and I have like this. I have 4 records. So I have 4 students. Now I want to sort this all records on the basis of marks 1. So it's like we can use the sort function, but we have to have an extra logic as well, because if you do the basic sorting, or if we directly use the sort function, it will sort on the basis of the first element, which is like the name. So if I use the sort function, it will, let's say I use it now, so it will give me the value of, like, it will sort on the basis of name. So it will have like the alphabetically. So it will have Aman as the first record and H like Hers as the second record and Raj as the last record, because of the alphabetical order. But that's not the way, let's say that's not the way I want the records to be sorted. Let's say I want the records to be sorted on the basis of the first mark, or the marks of the subject 1. Also that mark should be in the like reverse order, like the higher marks should be like at the starting position. So and these marks are out of 50. So I want the marks that are close to 50 on the first position after the sorting. So that's where the logic becomes complicated when you are using, like, when you want to sort something. So at this point of time, this lambda function can do the trick. So here I want to do the reverse sorting. So I will use the reverse key. So I will make the reverse equals to true. And also I am using something else to do the, like, I have to specify the key. So for specifying the key, I can use the lambda function. So there is a option of key when you are using the sort function in Python. So key is nothing but on which column or on which parameter you want to sort the things. So in the key parameter, I will use the lambda. So I will have a small anonymous function lambda. So what this key will do is, I will pass, let's say, x only. So you can take any identifier name or argument name here. So I will use x, and and on what parameter I want to do the sorting. So in a record, I have three data elements. So on the second data element, I want to do the sorting. So the second data element is nothing but your value at first index, because you are using the zero index thing. So I want to sort the records on the basis of first index. So I will use x bracket 1. So this x bracket 1 is nothing but your records first or records second value. So now you have specified the key and you have specified the reverse or like ascending or descending order. So now if I do this, so I will get Harsh as the first record and Aman as the second record. And so you can see this, like, records are sorted on the basis of the marks of subject 1. So we have 44 here, and then 35, 23 and 23. Okay, so moving on towards the next and the last topic of this video. So in sorting, its lambda function has a very good role to play. But let's say you have a list of values and you want to perform some operation on the on a single element, and not single element but all the elements individually. So at that point you will be having a for loop and stuff, and you will be doing something like that. But we can use the lambda function for that. So I can use the map function for that. So I will map a function to this list, right? So, and I will store that whatever the values I get in a list. Okay, so now that I have to define a function that will be mapped to each value of that list. So let's say I want to calculate the fourth power of all the elements that are present in the list. So I can use at this point I have to just use lambda. So I will write x, whatever the identifier you can you can use. Let's say I'm using x, and I will write x star 4. So what this function will, or what this line of code will do, it will map this function, this is lambda, like x to the power 4, to each value of this list A, and then I will get the results of each of the values operation and in the form of a list, because I am typecasting it with using lists. So now I will get the values, like individual values, to the power of 4. So let's say you are doing the same task using the traditional for loop way or traditional loop way. So then you have to first define a new list, let's say n, and then whenever you are then you have to use for loop for each value, to get each value from A or the list A. Then I will append the new value that is encountered using append function, and I will store each of the the new values into the list, and at the end I will print this new list. So essentially this is giving me the same output as the earlier, but here I'm using a single line of code to do this operation, and here I'm using almost 5 lines of code. So it's like, which way is better? So this, using a single line to perform the operation is always the better. And I think internally the lambda function works faster as well. So you are using the less line of code and you are performing efficiently. So I prefer to use lambda. So that's it in this video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed this channel, please subscribe it, like it, share it and comment it. So, and take care of your health. Till then, this is Raj signing out.